Yo, it's Money. Back at it again. Revealing knowledge about maneuvering these 9 to 5s and just life lessons in general. And today I wanted to talk about dispatch at your job. What does that look like for you? Dispatch at your job. I'm not cleaning it up for dispatch. What dispatch will do is try to clean it up, dispatch will have amnesia. They'll try to hit you with the Men in Black. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop that, you know what I'm saying? Because let's think about this. Let's think about the logic behind this. Dispatch, when your employees, your coworkers give you information at the ground level, dispatch should be taking that information, good or bad, and be passing that information along up. If that makes any sense. When you give dispatch feedback about the job, let's think about this. Good or bad, especially the bad things that can be corrected. That could be make adjustments, these small adjustments. It's dispatch's responsibility, because they're the closest thing to our managers and to our supervisors and to the boss. Especially when the information is coming from people who've worked there for a couple of years. It's your job as dispatch, it's your responsibility as dispatch to pass that information upwards. If you're not doing that as dispatch, you're not doing your job. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not handling the responsibilities of dispatch, because you're not making the job any easier. I've noticed that for a couple years at my job. Dispatch will act like they have no problem solving sometimes. Dispatch, they need to work on their problem solving skills. I remember these motherfuckers couldn't even come up with a solution on cleaning out the work vehicles. It's just the little, if you can't even, I'm sorry, hold on one second. If you can't handle something as simple as, if you can't problem solve, how are we going to clean all these work vehicles out? Holy fuck, how are you even doing your job? It's these little logical things that will start to add up. And I'm like, well, you can't do this. You can't do that. You have no problem solving skills. You have no social skills. You have no, is it getting better? We'll see. In due time, we will see. Dispatch at your job. What does that look like? Dispatch you'll give information to dispatch that's like, hey, this could make the job easier. Hey, we need these supplies. Hey, and they act they just act so oblivious, like it's not their response. What dispatch will do is you'll give information to dispatch, and dispatch will say, oh, well, tell this person higher up. Oh, supersede me and tell this supervisor. Oh, tell this manager. What did you just say? Let's think about this. What the fuck did you just say? Tell the supervisor myself, motherfucker, that's your job, you piece of shit. This is the shit that I'm talking about. I'm not cleaning it up for them. Hell no, I'm not cleaning it up for them. No. I don't have dispatches back. Hell no. I'm not cleaning it up for them. Because you try to tell dispatch information and they try to like push it to the side. Oh, I don't want to worry about it. You communicate that to the super. What did you just say to me? You know, it makes you do a double take. What the fuck did you just say to me? Tell my manager, tell the supervisor, motherfucker, you should be having a notebook. You know what you should have a notebook of notes. You should be writing these little fucking things down. How can I make the job easier for all my people at the ground level? If you don't do that, you're not doing your job correctly. I'm sorry. You're not. You're not. People at the ground level of your job are giving you feedback and information about the job. Especially coming from people that's been doing this shit for a couple years. You should be writing notes down and then communicating that to your supervisor and the managers and the owner. It should go from the ground level up. Not supersede dispatch. I remember they tried to play that shit with me before. I was at a stand-up. What did I even say? I just tried to give information about. I mentioned something. Matter of fact, never mind about that specific thing, but you try to give information to your dispatch and they say, oh, supersede me. Talk to our supervisor. Talk to our manager. No, you're in this leadership position, right? Leadership position. Play your goddamn role. How hard is it? Lead. Why am I superseding you to tell a supervisor or manager? That means you don't give a fuck. Just let's think about this logically. You're not doing your job. You know, and you're making it worse for everybody else that works for the company. Seriously. Because if you're not writing this shit down, the important shit, I'm not talking about the dumb shit. I'm talking about real feedback that can potentially make the job easier. And you're not recording this information and passing it upwards. At least send an email, something. Just gather the information up and send it. Hey, this is the feedback I'm getting from the ground level. From our workers on the ground level. Who's making all this shit happen. This is the information that needs to, be communicated. Just, some things to think about. Dispatch at your job. What does that look like? And when dispatch fucks up, they try to do this MIB shit. This Men in Black hit you with the, try to clear memory. Oh, forget about it. Oh, we didn't do that. Oh, we didn't. Motherfucker, I got memory like a fucking elephant. I got memory like a fucking elephant. I'm not letting this shit go. Hell no. You think I feel bad for you? No, I don't. You're dispatch. Like I said in my last video, you can't stand the heat, motherfucker. Get out the fucking kitchen. You know what you signed up for. You signed up for a leadership position. I hate to have to be whining about this shit. That's the millennial in me. I'm whining. I'm crying about this shit. I can't, maybe I can control that, but that's just the millennial in me talking. It I'm not letting this shit go. Dispatch at your job, what does that look like for you? Let's think about this. Has dispatch ever pissed you off? Most likely. Has dispatch ever, you given dispatch information and they just blow it to the side? Oh no, supersede me and tell the supervisor. You're not doing your job, bro. Bruh, you're not doing your job. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not, and we have to think about these things, and reflect on it at the ground level. And this is the whole shit about staying humble, strong, and vigilant at the job. All these videos tie in, because it's all a never-ending circle. All of these videos, I'm gonna make a compilation of these videos, because they all tie in. What's the logic? Dispatch at your job. What does that look like for you? Dispatch at my job, they're not doing their damn job. I have different, dispatch changes over time. You might have a better dispatch one year and a shitty dispatch the next year. And it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Because when I give dispatch information, it needs to travel. It shouldn't stop at dispatch. It should travel upwards and need to reach somebody who actually can enforce the shit, write a memo, send it, and say, this is the new policy, or this is what's going to help out with your work assignments, whatever. Things to think about. Things to think about. I'm not letting this shit go. Dispatch be having me fucked up sometimes. And I've noticed I've talked to my dispatch less and less and less. Because they're just not doing their jobs. Why am I even talking to you if you're not gonna communicate shit? Or even if I ask you about something, it's a blow off. You're trying to blow it off. You're trying to sweep it under the rug. You're trying to clean it up or something. And no, that's unacceptable. You're not doing your job. These motherfuckers will be so focused in their computers that they forget about the whole job as a whole. They're so busy responding to messages, responding to people at the ground level. Motherfucker, if that's all your job is responding, what the fuck are you doing? You have more responsibility than that. Clean out these goddamn work vehicles. Or hire somebody. Damn, you piece of shit. It's it's just the things that add up, the bullshit that can add up sometimes. Dispatch at your job, what does that look like? These motherfuckers, these dispatch at my job, it's unacceptable. And then they try to play it off. They try to play this shit off. Like I said, the Men in Black shit. Next week they act like last week never happened, or the last day never happened, or, I got memory like an elephant. I'm not letting this shit go. I'm not. It's unacceptable at the job. These people, these jobs, man, these 9 to 5s. You would think you would have, motherfucker, did you learn anything at school? Did you learn anything? Did you take you're in a leadership position. Did you take any leadership classes? Did you take any communication classes? Did you do anything? Motherfucker, how did you even get in this job? Holy fuck, just because you live and breathe? Fuck, put any motherfucker in that job. That's what it seems like. They'll stick anybody in. Well, it seems like at my job, anybody who's kissing ass and could take it up the ass, Oh yeah, we'll make you dispatch. If you could bend over and take it up the ass, yeah, we want you as dispatch. See, that's why they won't make me dispatch. Because I don't take it up the ass. I don't take bullshit. You know, and I will communicate that. You know, some people, they fear to get into these higher up positions. And they have this fear of certain people getting in these positions that would probably make the company better, but that fear is something else. It needs to be researched. It needs to be studied. What is this fear that you have? That a stand-up dude, you know, somebody who's putting in work, been there for a couple years, 10 toes down, you know, that can communicate with the rest of the team, you know, I mean, that can actually conflict resolve, you know, de-escalate situations. You know, they think I escalate shit. I don't. I try to de-escalate it. See, your problem is you can't communicate. That's your problem. My dispatch, they can't fucking communicate. They have no leadership skills. They have no social skills. You know, and they look at a motherfucker like me and they think I'm escalating shit. No, I'm just talking regular. I'm giving out information, not all the time. It's just when I do. You know, I give good information. You know, and I'll see dispatch turn around and ask me how to problem solve it. And I look at them and I'm like, you didn't think about this? I'm the only one thinking about it? Why the fuck are you asking me what's the correct solution for the problem? That tells me you're not doing your job. It does. Why the fuck are you asking me the problems? Why are you asking me for the answers, Sway? You know, why are you asking me for the answers? Problem solve. I just gave you the information. I give you the information to put it together. I gave you the answer. Why would you ask me a question you should already know the answer to? This is the ignorant shit I'm talking about. I give you information and then you turn around and say, well, what's the actual solution? I just gave it to, I give you information to put it together to problem solve. You know, you only need you don't know how to do math, motherfucker? This is what I'm saying. Did you take algebra? You don't need X all the time. You gotta find X. You know what I'm saying? You don't have... Motherfucker, you gotta solve for X sometimes. You know? You gotta solve for Y. You gotta solve for X. You know? You gotta solve for these things. You have parts of the formula and most of the information you need. You just need to solve for X. Find out what X is. Then you'll find out the solution. What the answer to the problem is. Shit, there's probably multiple ways to figure that problem out. You know, there's multiple equations to figure that out. Multiple formulas. Motherfucker can't even think of one. Did you take math? Holy fuck. Damn. You know, dispatch as your job, what does that look like? You know, damn. You can't do math? Holy fuck. What is the world coming to? You know, damn, your basic education isn't helping you with this problem solving shit? Solve for X. That's my answer. Solve for X, motherfucker. You figure it out. I gave you all the information. I gave you the numbers and shit. Solve for X. Damn. Holy fuck. This is the shit that I'm talking about. You know, dispatch. Holy fuck. They can be shitty sometimes. It's unacceptable. You're not doing your job. Period. You're not. You're not. These people in these higher up positions will only give shit. I don't think they're giving their 100%. They're not. They're not. They're giving 80%, and they yank that other 20 out the people that are on the ground level. I'm serious. That's why people on the ground level have to give their 120, because you have fuckers above you that's only giving 80%. They want you to be the other 20% in their job, you know, with their work assignments and shit. And get off your ass. Get off your ass and problem solve. I'm serious. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. Dispatch at your job. What does that look like for you? Well, you have to think about these things. You know? Tie in with all my videos, you know? These people don't give a fuck. Am I aware that regular people work my dispatch? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You don't think I'm a regular person? You don't think I'm a regular person too? But you're in the leadership position. Let's think about this. Let's just think about it. Let's think about it. You know, there's no reason to get rowdy. There's no reason to yell and scream and all this, bring extra drama. Literally, I'll try to have a legitimate conversation. These people take offense. These people take offense. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know, they're just trying to get the day done. No, motherfucker, go be a customer service. Go answer fucking phone calls for Verizon Wireless, you bitch. This isn't that job. No. We have work assignments that are passed out, that need to be completed. You know, some dispatch, I will give them one good thing. But that's part of their job. It's the mandatory shit. Who has the most amount of work? Who got passed out the biggest work assignment? Okay, he's gonna need help. I mean, that's just part of your job, mandatory. You know, it's hard to just give him that. You know, I had a pretty big work assignment yesterday. They had to send somebody. I mean, if you want me out here, if you want, you know, you're gonna pay for that shit. You want me out here longer? Don't question my hours. You know, don't question it. Don't, oh, you're working too many hours. Well, motherfucker, send somebody out here to get some of this shit off me or help me. You know, some things to think about. Dispatch at your job. What does that look like? I'm not letting it go. I got memory like an elephant. We'll see in due time. We will see in due time. You know, this is how jobs disintegrate and vanish. This is how companies just disintegrate, and, you know, they got to go start a new fucking company because the people you're putting in leadership positions aren't doing their job. What are you thinking about as a business owner? Are you worried about all your little vacations and shit and traveling the world and whatever? Do you? But your business could be ran a lot better. It could be. I don't want to be a business owner because I don't want to treat my employees like pieces of shit. I don't. Nope. Especially my people that been there for couples of years. Been there for a couple of years. You know, you should be kissing their ass. You should be kissing their feet. These people that have been at your job for a couple years don't call out. Perfect attendance. Giving you the 120%. You should be kissing their ass. You should be kissing their feet when they walk in the fucking door. You should be patting them on the back. You should be giving them a hug. You know, you should be giving them a bonus per diem check after that 2 years. If you put 2 years in at your fucking job, they should give you a per diem bonus at the end of the fucking year. Just to say, shout out you. One up. Thank you for continuously putting in that work, for our company, keeping our company afloat. Here's a nice little bonus per diem check, non-taxed. They forget about these things. That's the respect I'm talking about for your employees. You recognize your good employees who've been there for years. Give them a little bonus, a little per diem at the end. Is it too much to ask for? That one per diem at the end of the year, the one little Christmas bonus per diem check. I don't think that's too much to ask for. But I just wanted to get that off my chest for today. It's money. Revealing knowledge, how to maneuver these 9-to-5 jobs, and just life lessons in general. And I hope you learned something. Peace.